All right. Hello. I don't know if anybody's here yet. It's Fallbreaker Studios. I got a limited time to talk about Path of the Pale Rider 1 through 7. I think that this is they're all good individually, but I think that to digest them as one, you might get a little bit of the giddiness that I get from it. I'm on a clock tonight, y'all, so I'm bringing Laurie on. We're just going to get started. All right, here we go. Laurie, it's time.
I don't need an intro. We're friends. We're good. We all know what we're here for. We're going to nerd out and talk Path. Let's do it.
I was getting ready to say my next guest, but I'm like, you were kind of my last guest too. So
it's the only guest that matters. Let's be honest.
You always wake me up enough to do these. So welcome.
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm running a Kickstarter. Let's go.
Let's do it. Path of the Pale Rider 1 through 7 is out. Or it's not out, but the Kickstarter is almost done, and I really feel like you should check it out. So I'm getting a little bit better at this. So I'm going to screen share, and Laurie, I want you to give them a quick rundown, and then we'll probably do what we always do.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh shoot! Here we go.
There it is. It's coming. Or not.
I'm no good at this. There we
go. Can't have this. No, sorry, people. Tease. It's a tease. Maybe this time.
All right. Okay. There we go. All right. I'm taking myself off the screen till you get all right.
Dang you, Kickstarter. Yeah, it's tiny. No, I don't know what it's doing.
There we go. Is that better?
No.
It's on the full screen. I don't even have you and I on the screen.
I know. Here, let me share mine. I'll share mine.
Here, I'll turn mine off.
Okay.
How's that?
Good. Will you put mine up there?
I'm in charge of this. My bad.
It's going to be a fun night. We're having fun. Yes. Hello, everybody. You know me. I'm Laurie Calcaterra, your favorite writer that drinks your tears. And I love writing dystopian Western. Issue 7, y'all are going to be mad at me. Path of the Pale Rider is let's see, if you like, let me go back. If you like spaghetti Westerns, like Book of Eli, Walking Dead, and then sprinkled Cocaine Bear on top, that's Path of the Pale Rider. We are a world where death is broken.
All before, though.
What's that?
I said all before, though. Like, Big James is kind of the early creepy bear.
Yeah, it's funny because Big James was a thing. We were actually releasing issue number 3 when Cocaine Bear dropped. So Big James is older than Cocaine Bear, which is fun. So, but yes, in this world, yes, in this world, death is broken. Your body can die, but your soul doesn't leave your body upon death, meaning you are trapped inside as you decay. But you're you. You're not a flesh-craving zombie. You're not trying to eat brains. You're you, but it's like having dementia and fast forward. Your body rots. Your brain rots. You lose your memories. You could become violent or chaotic or vegetative, and it hits everybody differently. And so it becomes this powder keg very quickly. Things devolve back to the Wild West, and we're following this cowboy who is sifting through conspiracy theories, trying to figure out what the heck happened. You will see things like undead animals, undead insects, undead fish. You're going to see zombie ethics. You're going to see conspiracy theories. And in this issue, you're going to see nonstop action. There's very little dialogue in this issue at all. It's just action.
It's pretty gnarly. I can't wait for I don't want to act like I don't want to say too much.
I know, because Jason has read the script, so he knows.
It's so
he knows
good.
What's coming.
Like,
and we've been, gosh, We've been
We talked
hiding
about,
this secret, right, for a long time.
yeah, I think we've done pretty good. Like, but I even
Yeah.
tried to not talk to you about it because I know that you have to get into writer and you have to make it fresh when you do these. And it's like
Yeah.
you and I like we just kind of shoot the shit about it. But when you talk about this, like it's always been riveting. And one of the last times you came on, you just marathon style caught everybody up on 1 through 5. So
Yep.
if you want to see the in-depth of that, go back. Like it's on my
Go
channel,
back.
so go
Yeah.
back and check it
Yeah.
out. But I do want to. Can we hang out
Talk
on number
about
6
6.
for a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about 6. Let's go in detail because it's funny because there isn't a ton of action in that. Like we have action right in the beginning and then it just like it plays with your mind. There's so much stuff and then you have to decide, you know, whether what do you think? Should you follow through or not? So let's do it. I'll take my
Yeah.
screen
So
down.
it's
You got
you and
it?
I. Yeah, we're good. You and I don't want to say we write similarly, but we think similarly about
Yes.
our approach. And so reading issue 6, probably, I'd say probably about a third of the way into just reading the script. And reading the comic is a completely different experience because
Right.
Mr. Perez killed it. Like I
I
love
know.
the art style. It's so fantastic. But I don't know, it just works. It makes me feel like a horror version of the WB cartoons. It's very satisfying to me in this weird twisted way because
Love
you
it.
write very dark and your story is very dark. And you about a third of the way in, what I was saying is you can feel it getting dark. Like you can feel like,
Mhm.
okay, there's been a lot of hard stuff. And it's like Jude's mom was one of the heavier experiences in that
Yes.
first arc. And it was tough and it was raw and it hit home different than Jude being in an ambulance with and going through it in the silly way. Like
Right.
this is your mom. Like that was different. And you can tell like now he's like, I gotta figure this out. You
Right.
can't really feel like that there's a way to figure it out. Like in the world, your book is so different than zombie books, but the I have to figure it out is always the first step to understanding that there's
Mhm.
nothing really to figure out. It's just
Right.
bad things
I
are
mean,
happening.
he will figure it out though. He will.
Sure,
We're on the
he
way
does.
there.
Yeah,
So, mhm.
but it was like there's a sense of foreboding in this book. And
Yes.
we can go back to the beginning, and you know I'm kind of all over the place when I get excited about the things that I talk about. There was this one part, and I didn't really pick up on it just reading the script. But when Carlos comes out of the tent,
Yes.
right before we know it's Carlos, and he says something to the effect of "This is getting to be a lot." And when he said it, I zoomed in because I was reading it on my tablet. So I zoomed in on his face and I was like, this is a zombie. Like, this is what
Right.
we would consider a zombie. And he's overwhelmed.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it created it created a very unsettling sense of like, how do you feel pity for this undead brain eating thing? And he
Right. But it's not a brain-eating
it's
thing. It's
not.
just a person.
It's
And
it's a person. And
that's why we're so unique is like it's so easy. This is what this whole episode is about, this whole issue, is it's so easy to forget the humanity of those that we consider other. And Jude, he remembers when he's walking around the camp. And that's really the meat and potatoes of it. It's the difference between he really has no choice, right? So he
he
gets
knew it
here
from the beginning.
from
He
the
said that it
beginning
was
because
bullshit, but he knew what he was going to end up having to do.
well, like the first thing that you see happen here, I'm gonna throw it up there if you want to
No,
put it up there.
I got you.
This, right? And so this is the guy that's in charge. and he's interrogating a living person, and he just ends her, you know, right in front of Jude. You know, it's just like this could be Jude next, because he snaps
Yep.
and he's like, all right, put him this they kneel him right in front of that blood pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
looking at
He's
his
looking at his
reflection
reflection
like,
in the, yeah.
I'm
So
next.
good.
Right. Right. I'm next. And it's just like, this is what they are. This is what they are. It's like they don't keep people alive in this camp. So he's right on the precipice here. If it hadn't been for this guy, Dwayne, being friends with Miguel Blanco, this
That was the
bandito,
only thing that
they
saved him.
that was the only thing
Legit.
that saved Jude.
Yep. But you know, it's funny because it's once again Jude puts himself. He legit puts himself in these situations, and it's irritating in a sense, but the other way is it's very. He's just an adventure guy. And it's like there's a lot of stuff going on, but he's so confident that he's going to figure it out that he knows he can do it. And
right.
What doesn't it makes James Bond the same way. It makes John Wayne the same way. It makes Clint Eastwood the same way. You go into the trouble. You know, you don't try to sneak behind the bushes and wait and listen for the answer. He's
Jude's the one that'll meet it like head on, right? And so I mean, he knows he's trying to get to the Golden City. And this I think was just so funny. What a moment between Dwayne, and again, this speaks to Dwayne's character.
He's
Dwayne's
pretty dark. He's kind of creepy.
Like, how is he okay here? But he was also okay in Santa Claus. You know what I mean? And they were not okay with any undead. So he's just that character that freely walks between the different communities and
that's the way he survives. Yep.
Yeah.
They think
like has no business surviving. That guy for sure. No business.
No.
So but he knew, like, it's obvious that he knew what Miguel was looking for, that he wanted a guy to go. He says, this is your Trojan horse. So he knew Miguel from before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew bringing him would at least keep him long enough, because he can do whatever. Like, he can just get drunk and wander off to the next place. But
yes. Now, Jude, here's a moment too where he was like, he's introducing him. Oh, I forgot. Meet Jude. Never got a last name. This here's your Trojan horse. But look at Carlos's face.
Yeah.
He recognizes Jude right there.
Before, but yeah, he totally did.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, it's Jude, you know?
Yep. But they both are so different now. Like,
yeah.
And it's like,
there's no way Jude would recognize him. No way.
No. This guy looks like beef jerky now. So
yeah, he's 100% beef jerky with a toupee. I think that's not even his hair.
But it's like he's still a person. Like, and he doesn't seem evil. He just seems like they don't have a place. The undead don't have a consistent place where they're accepted.
So if you follow the story, they are 2 miles away from the undead retirement community. They are right at the edge of it. And so I feel like what they are doing is trying to rescue undead from going in there, because they know it's not right. And Miguel has been sending, it's like he's been sending people there.
No, you're right. Everything is still pretty close to where we started.
Right? Uh-oh. And so, what's up? You still there? I'm still here. Oh no. He said, uh-oh, and then he froze. So anyway, I'll just keep talking until he comes back. But it's interesting to me that here Miguel is telling everybody that he sends people into the undead retirement community and no one comes back. And so they need proof, and they need it from a living person. And he's gone. They need it from a living person, because no one believes the undead anyway. You know what I mean? Because they're half rotten. So who's going to believe you? You know, are you even a reliable source at that point? There you are.
I'm here. Sorry.
That's cool. I just kept going until you.
No, you did good.
Uh-oh,
I
and then you
hear
froze.
you most of the time after uh-oh. I just had to come back.
So I was like, out, and there he goes. So yeah, so I mean, like, it's interesting to me that he keeps trying to send people in there and they don't come back, you know? And so they haven't cracked the nut that is the undead retirement community, but yet they're right outside of it. So he's trying to send people in and simultaneously get information. So that was a kidnapped collector, probably from the outside of the community. And then he also is trying to stop undead from going any further. So they're all just camped out there. Safety in numbers,
It's such a wild concept, and we just approach undead two different ways, because my undead never stop living and your undead never stop living, but they're evidently not
that they're
alive.
Rotting. Yeah.
Exactly. It's evident that things change, but we don't see that zombie rage in the humans. Like, they are, and they're different, but they're not like Big James. They're not like Big James at all.
Well, and that's what I want to make sure I explain to people. I was like, Big James is that way because he was shot in the head and he is stuck in rage. He's not hungry, but he's pissed off that you're just there. You know what I mean? And he will never be friendly. There is no taming Big James. You can't hug him. Don't do it.
No, there's no whisper. There's no Big James whisper.
Nah, it's not. It's not. So, but that's how he is. But that can happen. That can happen to people where they can get stuck in rage and they can get stuck in fear. And so you're going to, issue 7, you're going to see a whole lot of bad. It's a bad day. So you'll see a different side.
Let's talk about the mission.
Yeah, the mission.
How did you come up with how he was going to sneak in there? Like, how did you come up with this was like the best, like, flatliners, like, tip of the cap?
Yeah.
You gotta be dead, but you can't stay dead, because if you stay dead, you're gonna die.
Right. And so that was part of it. That was part of the stakes that I wanted for Jude, where it's like, he has to sneak in. How does he do that as a living person? Oh, we have to slow down his heartbeat. And so to the point where it's unnoticeable, or it only beats once a minute and he hopes and prays that it doesn't beat when they're paying attention to him. Because that's what it is.
Yep.
Right.
It's just,
and then again,
just get through the next door.
Right. You got to get in, you got to see what it is, and you got to get back out. Like, it needs to happen fast, people, because
he's got one heartbeat. He's got to get in and out in one heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, he gets 30. He gets 30 beats.
Well, 3.
He gets 30 minutes, right, total, and 1 beat a minute. And when his heart does beat, it like takes his breath away. It's like, because it hurts.
Yeah.
So
your heart beating that slow, you're gonna feel like you're dying the entire
all over
time.
Again.
It's gonna feel like eternity, right?
So, I mean, it's just funny because they were like, you got to sneak in there. And he was like, I don't know how to be a collector.
Right.
And they were like, no, that won't work anyway. So I love this panel where he's like, let me get this straight. You want me to fool the collector, sneak into the URC, find out the truth of the place, break back out, come back here, and then you're going to take me to the Golden City. Is that right? And then Dwayne's like, yep, that's right.
You got it all.
and then Carlos is like, no, that's not it at all. Like, there's much more to it. And he was like, I had a feeling that it was worse, right? He's like, I won't pass for a collector. I don't know how. And they're like, that won't work anyway because they scan fingerprints and retinas and we can't get you in the system. They're in a freaking campground. They're not hackers, right? And he's like, so then how? And he's like, and you can't just have a fixed disc because they perform physical exams at the gate. And so this is where it's like, okay, this is impossible, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Then this
I just kind of feel like
that's where
Jude really buys into it. Once it's impossible, he's like, okay,
No, I think he's still very skeptical about this whole thing right here, because it's like they lay out this plan like, oh, you're gonna inject yourself with this one, and then you're gonna sneak in, and then you gotta inject epinephrine back in your heart, or guess what? You die permanently. And sounds great, right? And he's like, this is a terrible idea. And they kind of try to talk him into it, and he laughs at him like they're crazy, because they are. And then he storms out. And it's not until he's out of there, once the way I picture this, if this was a movie, he would storm through the camp, not paying attention to anything until he
Yep.
got to the edge. So this is where they are. They're at the edge, they're at a cliff. There is no more walking away from it, right? And so he has to
Right.
kind of face this problem. He's so close to the Golden City, he can taste it. Why should he risk himself for this? You know what I mean? But again, it's like, would Miguel even let him go? Probably not.
Right.
So he has to come to terms with this. So he's out
Do
there.
I fight my way out of here?
Mhm.
To
Yeah.
get
What
to
do
the
I
Golden
do?
City and not really know what I'm gonna do when I get there?
Right. But
Or
how do I get to the Golden City? Because in order to get there, I got to go through the undead retirement community, and they're not going to let me through anyway.
right.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
So he's just at this fork in the road. What do I do? And Carlos, who, we don't know this is Carlos yet, it's just
Right.
like, you are the person for this job. And Jude's like, I'm no one special. And he's like, well, he says you survive riots, the underground, Jet and her raiders. So again, that's a bunch of undead bandits. You bar fights, rednecks, breaking out of jail, someone named Jimmy. So all of his adventures in freaking Santa Claus, a giant undead bear named Big James, a swarm of flaming beetles, and whitewater rapids. Like, is all of that true? And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You're kind
but
of the dude.
right. It's like, then you're exactly who we need for this, because it sounds like you
Yep.
have survived a lot and you can make it back out. And he's like,
Right.
nah, that was mostly luck, So, and then here's where it's like, oh, you don't recognize me, but yes, we know each other. And he calls him by his full name.
I would
You are frozen.
imagine
Darn it.
it's Dwayne, yeah? Like Dwayne wanted
Come back. Dwayne had no idea what his last name. Remember, he
All
was
right.
like, this is
Hold on.
Jude, never
Let
got
me
a
see.
last name. Oh no. Dang it, Jason. So this is a good moment, I feel like, because of course this panel right here, I love this panel. This one.
Yes. It was the human moment. It was
Yes.
we're all just trying to survive.
Yes.
And
And
he found a familiar face.
if it wasn't for Carlos, Jude would have probably tried to leave. But because this
Okay.
is a person he knows and trusted, you know, Carlos says, why don't you take a moment and just soak up your surroundings and like go walk around the camp and see what we are. And
Yep.
then when he does that, he sees them in a completely different light. You know what I mean? They're just
Right.
hanging around. By the way, I don't know if you can see my mouse. You see this person right here?
Yep.
That's Gilbert. He drew himself into the comic.
Nice. I love it. So
I was
now
like,
I see it. Like now I totally
that's Gilbert.
see it. That's really good. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right? And so they're just hanging around the campfire, and we got Sad Pancake playing fetch with a kid. And
I got a kick out of Sad Pancake and the kid. I thought that was a pretty cool moment. But
it was
you can't shake the
perfect
feeling.
moment.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You just can't shake the feeling that, okay, Laurie, you don't connect us to things without really, like, you don't really say, I feel like this is the issue that would be the issue before the Plucky issue. It's like now a team of Jude, but that's not, I don't really feel like that's what's going to happen. Like, I feel like it's like we've teased the retirement community from the very beginning.
Yes.
And it's like now all the way issue 7. I can't believe like how long and how little it's been. Because
Yeah,
I
it
remember
really
talking with
does.
you and Jude's mom dying. Like, I remember reading it, but I
Yeah.
remember talking to you about Jude's mom dying. And
Mhm.
that was like the first big
That was
pivot.
3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was heavy because of the way that you broke the scene down with the newscast and where she was sitting. And then she was just kind of green all of a sudden.
Like, she woke up dead. Like, how terrible is that,
Legit.
It's like, and
Legit. That's
again,
what
she
people used to
didn't have
always
an
say in North
event.
Carolina. Yep. And now it's like
Right.
a reality. And
Right.
woke up, she woke up dead.
There was no catastrophic injury. There
Nope.
was nothing. It was she died in her sleep. And she didn't even know. She got up and she made coffee for Jude the next
Right.
morning. And he was the one that freaked out. Like, oh my God,
Yep.
mom, and like trying her disc and it's broke, not broke. It's red.
It's
You know what I
working.
mean? And
It's
so,
just not reading the right way. Yeah.
right.
And
And
then
it's
like
just
what his
like,
dad did, it's just it
oh
was just
Lord.
heavy. And
Yeah.
it's like now he also sees that this is what his parents are living through in the
Yeah, but
retirement community because they
they're
went to
in
go
the
together.
retirement community, exactly,
Right.
and so they're telling him that it's not what everybody says it is. It is something terrible, and we can't figure it out on our own, and we
Yep.
need you. And even Dwayne, like, earlier in their conversation was like, "Aren't your parents in there? Like, don't you
Yep.
care? You need to help because look, all these are just people,
Yeah.
and they
These
have
are somebody's
feelings."
family. Yeah.
Right. And this is the moment I think that he recognizes that. I love this. And now this I added to this issue. This was not originally in the script, where there's a group of undead sitting
Yep.
around a campfire and they are passing around a bottle of hot sauce, which I love because it's hot enough for them to taste because everything
Yep.
is muted, right? But it's like they're going down memory lane. That one drop of hot sauce reminds them what it's like to eat because they don't eat anymore
Because they
and what
don't.
it was like, yeah, just to be human. Maybe some other memory that's been forgotten comes
Right.
back.
Right.
So then
Yeah. This
that's
is
when
like
he
them
says,
drinking beer or
yeah,
having a smoke out by the fire, but
yep,
it's hot sauce.
it's hot sauce. And it's like, yeah, it's the only thing we can still taste. We're sharing a drop and remembering what it was like to eat food. Maybe remember something else that has been forgotten. And that's when Jude says, sometimes in the dark, we can forget each other's humanity. And I think that's right there, the moment
Yep.
where he decides he's going to go,
Yep.
you know?
Okay. I see that.
Yeah.
So I read it completely different, but talking to the writer, I totally see what you mean now.
Mhm. So
I
he
just
even gets up and starts walking back to the tent. Like that's the moment that makes him go back.
yep.
And then, of course, he gets stopped
Sad
by Sad
pancake.
Pancake and the hand that waves at him. Gilbert
Playing
is
with a
too
little
funny.
kid's hand. Oh my gosh.
I think it was funny. Also, I don't know if you guys recognize some of these characters. So this lady that's here in purple,
Yeah.
right? And this little boy and Sad Pancake were all in issue 5. And they were the family that Lola took out.
Huh. No way.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so again, Lola is connected to this camp. We may not see her in this issue, but that's her job is to increase their numbers and remove threats. And so you're
Uh,
seeing where these people go where she says clean them up. I want them back at, before sunset. Here is where they are.
this is on
Mhm.
purpose.
Yep.
But okay, I gotta circle back to the hot sauce because that's always been a you thing.
Yeah.
And it ties hot sauce that you've
Mhm.
consistently done as a perk to the book more than just its
Yep.
catchy names and a label. Like
Yep.
you
Now
have
it's
the
part of the
Kickstarter
world.
game on lock. You really do. And like you know how to make it all make sense. Like you broke the fourth wall in reverse. Like you reached into your universe and put your hot sauce in it. And it's
I
brilliant.
did.
And it makes total sense. It makes total sense for
Yeah.
the ground rules that you established. And I think that as important as consistency is in the artwork, and we get that, and I look at it differently now because
Oh, don't leave me hanging. I need to know. Dang it, Jason. Please come back. All right. Well, while he's frozen, I want to show you guys something here. This gentleman that's blue and is drinking the hot sauce with the mustache. This is a draw-in. This is my friend Brandon Starhochi, who is a writer creator of Avalon Comics, which is another zombie genre. Very good comic series. And I have a tier called Immortality, which he got. And so when he was being drawn in, he asked for a mustache. And so Gilbert complied. And we just laughed so hard at poor Brandon, because not only is he wearing this like cut off t-shirt and he has this mustache, and in pink, our colorist Matt Chambers put Brandon in pink. Brandon's a good sport, so he thought this was all hilarious. But I think it turned out just right. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I'm kind of jealous. Well, look, there's two of you. That's amazing. It's Jason and Jason.
That's too many.
You're good.
All right.
But I was just laughing at Brandon being drawn in here. And then I'm kind of jealous though, because he got to hang out and like pass hot sauce with Jude St. Clair. And I'm like, I haven't been drawn into my book yet.
Jay, what's up with that?
Yeah. I was like, dear Gilbert.
I think it was the dog message. I think that was when you got drawn out of your book. I think when you told Gilbert to go back.
She was like, erase.
All right, you're done.
Actually, no, I have a spot that I had in mind for a cameo, which is coming up in issue 8. So from the very beginning, I was like, I want to be this specific person for reasons because I think it's hilarious. And so you'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so tell me what you were going to say about the hot
conversation, though. I really do. But what I was saying is, I think that you've created this great universe, and I was talking about the art being consistent, but I think that your world is so chaotic, but I think it works because you've got strong physics. Like your world has pretty well established ground rules. And as long as you stay in the lines in that, you don't have to stay in the lines on anything else. Like we can go anywhere, anything can happen. But generally speaking, if somebody is off their rocker, there's a reason for it. It's not just because they're undead. If somebody, it's like you got undead masterminds here. So it's not like there's this really fast deterioration. They exist long enough to become like bosses. Like they exist long enough to make camps and have groups of undead followers. So I think it's a pretty fascinating book. And I was going to say something about, and I don't want to, I just feel like it says a lot when chunks of your story start to show up in other places. But I think that you almost have to take it as a compliment. It seems tacky to me, like just speaking as a human. It does seem a little tacky, but it's proof of concept at the same time. And like away this book goes, and your Kickstarter just destroyed, and like these videos are worth you doing, and it's worth your time to prep to try to push the last little bit out, because you believe in what you have, and you should. And so this is, I don't know. I think you got a pretty cool thing. I really do. And I've told you that before, but to get the director's cut and to be able to talk to you. Issue 6, reading it with the whole picture, I feel like is one of my favorite issues. It's definitely in my top 3 so far.
I love this series because I feel like we just get a little more chaotic as we go. And so it's like, God, I really liked issue 3 because we had, the riots on TV, and it's like, ooh, but issue 4, we're in a riot in real life. And then, like with the weaponized discs flying, and then they electrified them all and zapped everybody to collect them. And then it was like, oh my God. That's crazy. But then in issue 5, like, not only did we experience a riot from the other way, so when I wouldn't even call it a riot, it was a takeover, right? When the undead bandits came into town and just shot everyone, right? So you're seeing it from the other point of view where the undead are now the majority. And then Santa Claus burns down and we got blister beetles everywhere. And it's just like, it just increasingly gets crazy. And so this issue, I think, wasn't quite crazy action, but it fills you in on story. So we know where we're going next. And this issue 7 is insane. It's nuts. And so for all the action you didn't get in issue 6, you get 100% action in issue 7.
100%, 100%. And I'm so excited. And I feel like that this book is going to read so well collected. 1 through 7 are going to read so good collected, because those spaces in between, like that we're talking about, to where this issue is action, this issue is story, this issue has more action, but this issue has story. It's going to all read together. And I can't wait. I really can't wait.
I can't wait, like, because when we finish 8, then we get the next trade. And so we'll have another probably 148, 150 pages of story with bonus material. And then we're on to the last part. And so when people are like, you've been hyping up 7 for so long, like, what are you going to talk about once you're past 7? Well, we're on to the answer, right? Because we will know what broke Death. And if you're paying attention in issue number 9, you could figure it out. If you're paying attention in issue, is it 9? Yeah, no, 8. If you're paying attention, you can figure it out. Right. 9, you can definitely figure it out. And if you haven't figured it out by 9, when you open the book in 10, I slap you in the face with the answer. It's like the first couple of pages, I'm like, here we are. This is where we are. And now we need to move forward, right? Issue 10 is another really crazy issue. I don't think it's quite as big as 7, but it's huge. 11 is like you get a ton of questions answered, and then 12 kicks the door down and then open into the next arc, because not only do you find stuff out, you're going to throw your book again because you're going to hate me again. But it's like at the end of the day, we're off onto the next arc. So and then of course, Jason, I'm really excited to just put all 12 issues together into one book.
Oh, I bet you are. Yeah. I can't wait. Like, this has been, to be privy to it from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And being able to read ahead. But also, like, it's so different seeing the comic than it is reading the script. And like, to see it, you delivered. So mission accomplished. Like, our very first conversation, and I've probably said this every time we talk, I'm like, Westerns aren't really my jam. Zombies are kind of played. Like, how much can I really get into this book? And
and then
I'm into the book. Like, I'm into the whole experience. Every issue has been really good, and every issue has been better than the last issue because it's advanced this story. And you can slowly start to see the scene changing from what made the book good in the beginning. Like, we've moved past that now. And it's still a really good book, but like, we're entering the world. We're seeing different towns. Mm-hmm. We're getting different players. And there's a lot of rewards for the people who pay attention.
Yeah.
That, you don't forget that one little detail that seemed like it didn't have a place, but it was just kind of there's no page fillers. Like, you reward everybody for like taking in every page. And like, I think that's just how I think that's the best part of a good collaboration, is you guys give 100% individually, but you almost honor each other by how you tell the story, and that is the final product. You know your writing is good. You know your story is good. You knew issue 6 was good. I could feel the texture of issue 6 reading the script, but seeing it says it's just like what I imagined. It's exactly the same, only better, because I don't know, you guys capture movement well, like through direction,
Gilbert.
through letters. Gilbert's artwork is just, I don't know, I feel like it's so fun for the story, because it's not the style that you would see the story in, but it's also Gilbert's style. Like, I've seen Gilbert's style. It's his style, and I think it's pretty awesome.
I agree. I just want to point out some things on these pages that I think are really good. So I love on this second panel on this side how Jude is just like, whew, you're just like, like the hero stance, like, I'm here, and they're like, yes.
Yeah, so look at Carlos. Carlos knew, like, at that point that he was in to do it. Yeah.
And now this panel cracks me up, because this whole time, Miguel has been like, if this was a movie, he's flipping that knife around. He's throwing it to emphasize things. He yanks it out of the table. Like, this is part of him, right? And he's already missing 2 of his fingers on his right hand. And Jude snatches it away, and off goes another finger. That was not in the script. That was not in the script. It was just the way that he did it. I was like, Gilbert. He was like, yeah. I was like, it would be funny if a finger came off there. And he was like, oh, LOL, we're doing it. So he drew his finger, and it's wiggling as it's flying off.
Yeah, it totally is.
And of course, Miguel has been, awesome. I know, Miguel again has been using this as emphasis. So now Jude is using it as emphasis. It's slamming it into the gate of the undead retirement community. And it's like, this is where we're going. And I'm in. Yeah. So I think he's in a much more powerful position, having chosen to be the savior for this town, hopefully, you know what I mean, as opposed to going in there unwillingly because he's afraid Miguel will take his heartbeat. So that's the difference. Choice matters. And especially to me in storytelling, Jude St. Clair's choices are what make him who he is. And it's so powerful to watch his journey because of the things that he decides to do or not do.
Right? Exactly. And what's cool about this picture is this is one of the few Jude silhouettes where his heart monitor is not still highlighted. It's not still visible, because he's got to do something differently. Look at the eyes. Like, he knows, like, I have to be almost undead, but that's not so bad. That's not a curse anymore, because he sees how these people operate. And if I was Jude, there would probably be a little inkling of hope that maybe I'll get to sit with my parents in their little house that they live in the retirement community, and they'll tell me that there's nothing to worry about, but they just want to be left alone. But
in the back of his head, he knows that there's something going on there that's not right.
It's just the way that they take people away is not the way you take people away to live and be happy.
Right.
Gosh, Laurie, you did it again. You got to stop.
Why?
Your story.
I know. Oh, okay. Yes, I know. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Too much. I don't know how it keeps happening, Jason, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh. It's just another reason why in 10 years, this book is going to be this will be a huge marker for me. Like, reading these stories will be a huge marker, because there's nothing wrong with messages. And I understand a lot of how people feel on both sides about it. But I do think that there's an elegance in not really, and I don't want to say not doing it on purpose, but I also don't want to say doing it on purpose. Like, it works because it just is. This is just your story.
And again, it's like, this is a fictional world. This is a class of people that does not exist. And they are dangerous. You know what I mean? Because they're rotting and chaotic, they can get violent. And then you can't if you're living and they're undead, a lot of times they don't trust each other. And so again, there's that divide. So I'm not telling people what's right and wrong to do here, but it's weird how it mimics what is happening in the real world at times. And it freaks me out that, again, I wrote this in 2018. We've had delays for printing. We've had to switch out artists. We've had to, you know what I mean? Like so the timing of it.
I read this a long time ago. Yeah,
right.
I read your story before we had any indicator of where the world was. And
right.
Have I
changed anything, Jason, except for the hot sauce scene? That's
it.
I wrote it all. So it's crazy to me how it just keeps happening.
It's pretty neat. And I think that is, once again, like, good books just know how to connect with the world wherever it is. And good writers know how to tap into that. And I think you did it. I think you did it.
Thank
so
you.
Good on you. And well, where can we find you on social media? Because you work hard. And so where can we keep up so we can know what to do next?
Well, of course, please go look at the Kickstarter, because that's where all the best stuff is. Because people are always like, hey, I can get the book after you're done off your website, which you could. But anytime we run a campaign, it's the most important time for any independent creator, because it guarantees that we can pay the artist team and pay for printing and provide, really good merch. So it's important to show up and support here. Also, you could get books from my website and you get the books for the same price. But here on the Kickstarter, we're unlocking stretch goals. So you get free stuff for the same price that you would pay on my website. You know what I mean? Like, we do scratch and sniff stickers and PDF bundles and poker cards and the slice and dice, and you know what I mean? So we have a ton of stuff out there that you can only get from this campaign. So that's where I recommend. But I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram, just Laurie Calcaterra. I have a YouTube channel, Laurie Calcaterra 360. I host a Tuesday morning podcast called the Tuesday Morning Brew. So it's not only on my YouTube, it's also on the Madness Entertainment Group. There's a whole network of shows, like 40 of them, that you could watch regarding nerd culture. We do all sorts of stuff. I'm on TikTok. You're going to find me not only doing comic stuff, but rebinding books. And sometimes I'll cook stuff on there too. So yeah, I'm all over the place. You can go to the website. It's pathofthepalewriter.com. And I think that's about it. I'm at a lot of cons in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because that's where I am. My next con is actually going to be Red River in Ardmore, Oklahoma. I'm going to go north.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Well, I think you'll do well. And I think that you're loaded for bear, waka waka. But you've put quite the book together. You're telling a very cool story in the world of comics, and you're telling a cool story in 2025. And I think that physical comics are one of the last cool things that we have left that is free to be whatever it's supposed to be. And
yeah,
I hope that we continue doing it. And comics are awesome. Issue 7 is so heavy, guys. Like, we're getting a little preview of it now. And I really want to prepare a better discussion of number 7.
We'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to wait. Right. I want people to have a chance to read not only the digital but the physical too, because there's a lot of people that just wait for the physical. 100%. And so we don't spoil anything, because there's major spoilers in this issue. And I was like, I even had to double check the script. I was like, how many pages can I? Because I usually give 4. And like for issue 10, I'm like, I don't think I can give any pages. You know what I mean? So it just depends on how many pages in, like, the action picks up, and it picks up really quick after this. So I was lucky we could give you 4. But look at this page, Jason. Did you see who's in this picture?
Who we got? Who are I see Sad Pancake.
Nope,
Who's the
this is
mom?
Waffles. So we have a giant here. Like, he's way too big for this space, right? We have this old guy and his dog. We named the dog Waffles. And then these two, do you recognize them?
I recognize the glasses. I recognize the lady with the glasses.
They're from issue 1. Do you remember Jude has a conversation with a little girl? He tells her Diana Prince, and she says, I want to give your horse an apple, but all we have is carrots, and he says, this is my horse Prince. Her full name is Diana Prince. She's a warrior of the protector of the human race. And the mom, who is just like, get the heck out of here. I don't care less, that's them.
Wow. Not alive anymore.
Nope. But it's like, do they even recognize him at this point? And obviously they're all suspicious of him because look, his heart beats and it takes his breath away.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see like their interaction with him and his interaction with the collectors, what it looks like driving into this undead retirement community and then going in. And you guys have to see if he can get himself back out.
Yeah, because it legit does seem impossible. Like,
it is.
Jude's a hero through and through, and I know like he's MCU Captain America. Like, you gotta believe that he's gonna figure it out. He's definitely Superman of his story, but how with 3 heartbeats?
You're gonna find out. He's got 30. He's got a half an hour to figure it out.
Half an hour.
He's got half an hour.
My brain went 1 heartbeat every 10 minutes, but it's like, how would he survive? So
no, it's 1 heartbeat a minute, which is still not enough. You know what I mean? It's still messed up, but
I can't wait to pull it all together and see how it all plays out. Like, I don't want to keep you because I know how you work.
Yep.
And
I'm off to the next one.
Chat more, but I'm gonna catch up with you soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check out Path of the Pale Rider.
If
you read this after, if you watch this after, go find this book. Go find Laurie. Get the books. Get some hot sauce. 10 out of 10. I'm getting some hot sauce. I want to get some hot sauce. So
yes. Now you can get the hot sauce until August the 8th, and then when the campaign closes, I will leave open some late pledges, but it's just for books, so you can still read the books and then pick up the hot sauce on the next campaign.
The perk window is closing after tonight.
The hot sauce window and merch window is closing. Yes, but you can get books. So if you're watching this, like if the algorithm pushes this to you to, Saturday at some point, the campaign is ended, but you can still get books. You would just still pledge right here. And then, I can ship stuff as soon as the books come in. So we're on our way.
And you run a tight ship. So you'll get it. You'll get it when you say you're going to get it.
It's available. So, yep.
That's it. So Laurie, thank you again.
Thank you, Jason.
I can't wait to catch up with you a little bit longer. I hope your marathon pledge night has mega results and you push it to places you never thought it was going to go. So 22 hours left as of that before we started. So we're almost to 19 hours at this point. So count it down. Congratulations again on another successful Kickstarter. I hope it gets even further down the road. So
thank you. Thanks, everybody. Nice to see you. And Jason, always a pleasure. And I'm going to go run to the next one.
Laurie, I'll talk with you soon.
All right.
Always.
Bye.